Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. This morning's icing events, especially in Nassau County, was a big problem on Long Island, and also in areas to the north of New York City in Westchester County and across Connecticut. Well, Omni has all the rock salt you need to take care of these things, and you can find them at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon on Long Island. They are the largest supplier of rock salt and all the other snow melt products, and they got plenty in stock of Pelleto and Mag ice pellets and flakes, plus shovel spreaders and snow blowers. So you can head there. Call ahead, 631-756-1125, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. So we've got the next round of weather to talk about. Excuse me. And we are already seeing the beginnings of winter weather advisories going up for New Jersey and southeastern and south central Pennsylvania, as well as Maryland, Delaware, Northern Virginia, and Western Virginia. Winter storm warnings up for West Virginia, the Virginia Panhandle, and much of central and eastern Kentucky. Winter weather advisories down through Tennessee and in the Carolina Mountains, as well as northern Georgia, northern Alabama, and northernmost Mississippi. So this is for the system for Thursday night into Friday. The advisories that are up for the areas out to the west, much of that is for what's going to happen during the day on Thursday and into Thursday night. Right now, a lot of clouds, starting to see some drier air get into the mix, and that shall allow for improving weather conditions tonight as we chill off. And then it's going to turn colder on Thursday, and we also have a second trough behind it, back in the Great Lakes, and this is the next weather system that is coming eastward, and we're going to see that weather system attempt to sharpen up as it reaches the East Coast. However, I think it's going to have a very difficult time doing that. I just saved the radar from this morning because we had all this icing that occurred, and it really had to do with the fact that all the deep snow cover that's down to the south in southern New Jersey and points south and west, that didn't disappear yesterday and last night. That's all there. And that helped to actually hold the colder air in the northeast down into central New Jersey. In fact, many areas, particularly in Westchester County and in Connecticut and over parts of Long Island and New York City this morning, had their temperatures running at about 2 to 4 degrees lower than what was being forecast by model guidance yesterday. So oftentimes in situations like this, the very low levels of the atmosphere are warmed up too quickly by weather models, and therefore you get these icing situations like we had this morning that show up and happen, especially when you have warmer air coming up, overrunning the colder air. Meanwhile, on the radar, you can see currently we don't have a whole lot happening. The showers in the east have increased in southeastern New England, and they are moving away. There's the back edge at about New York City now. We've got some snow showers going on around the Great Lakes and some accumulating snows in spots. Also seeing precip from northern Kansas, northwest, all the way up into the Pacific Northwest. Now, let's look at what's happening here with regards to the next storm system that we're going to be dealing with. And I'm just going to roll it back to this evening when this cold front moves on through. And you see it there, the showers moving offshore. We're going to chill off tonight down in the upper 20s and lower 30s in most places, and then kind of hold in the 30s all day long with a bit of a gusty northwest wind and sunshine for much of the day, I think, before clouds start to arrive from the southwest. There's your next low in Mississippi and Alabama. There's a snow shield to the north across Tennessee, Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern Ohio. Then it moves on out to the northeast during Thursday night. Now, in situations like this, oftentimes what happens is that the snow winds up getting left behind west of the Appalachian Mountains. The snow just basically dries up as it moves eastward, and then you have to wait for the coastal low to develop, and then you start to see the snow get generated again. And this is what the models are doing now, because the low that is forecast to develop is weaker and is further east. And there's a lot of uniformity here in terms of what the models are showing. It's not just one model or two models. It's almost all of them are showing this idea now. And then the low runs up and intensifies by the time it gets to Nova Scotia. And of course, when it at that point, we're everything is just long gone and done. And if you take a look at what the upper air looks like, we're seeing what appears to be a trough moving into the eastern part of the United States. You'll see it here. First, we've got one that's coming through this evening and tonight. Then we have a second one from the Great Lakes that's dropping southeastward. And you notice it's very, very broad here. It's just this kind of looks like a bowl instead of having that V shape that you like to see in these troughs as they start to swing into the eastern part of the United States and lift up northeastward. The V-shaped trough would allow for a coastal storm to develop sooner and further south. That bowling look, that weak look, would keeps everything very flat. You get this low that redevelops, but it doesn't have a whole lot to work with. Plus the fact, as we said, that the moisture winds up getting left behind. So right now, my original call on this was, basically a 2 to 4 inch snowfall. I'm kind of leaning on the idea more on the lower end, certainly with what I've seen during the day today. And it might even go lower than that before it's all said and done. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 6317561125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. I was trying to get WPC's latest forecast on the... there it is. They finally was able to get in there on the website just to take a look at what they're going for as far as tomorrow is concerned. I'm sorry, for Friday. This is the probability of at least 2 inches, and they've kind of lowered their chances a bit. You'll notice that there is a fairly high probability down in West Virginia and in Western Virginia, southeastern Kentucky, on the order of 80 to 90% for at least 2, and also a rather high probability in that stretch there of at least 4. But as we look up here in the Northeast, we've got a different problem here. And if you take a look at the light blue, which is the 50% line, so a 50% chance of at least 2 across Maryland, Delaware, much of New Jersey. Then there's like this little hole where it drops off by about 10%, and then it picks up again when you get into Connecticut. And the reason for that is the redevelopment that we were talking about earlier, where the snow gets kind of left behind west of the Appalachians and dries up, and then you sort of wait for the coastal low to develop, and there's this hole where you're sort of in between the two systems. This might be a little bit underdone. Maybe the hole is a bit bigger. If it winds up that we have a stronger system, then we're going to see perhaps we're going to see that 2 inch area being expanded a bit. So just we'll be paying attention to see how WPC handles all this. In the meantime, there is no Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight. The Joe and Joe Weather Show will be back. Hopefully it will be back tomorrow evening at 7:30 Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. So be sure you tune in for that.